It's the start of the RoughRiders 12-game road trip, and we begin with a 4-game series in Corpus Christi, joined by Monday night's winning pitcher, Ryan Boers. Ryan, congratulations picking up your second Double-A victory. Pitching in that ball game, you're making your first relief appearance after starting in the rotation for a couple of spells. It seems like you're throwing the ball well as of late. Are you feeling much more confident here in the last couple of outings that you've had?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting more comfortable out there. Got some innings under my belt now, just throwing ground balls, letting the guys behind me make plays.
Earlier on, you were having a little bit difficult time missing bats, it seemed like. I wouldn't say the stuff is any different. Is that just from what you were taking out of it, that you were just having a hard time avoiding them?
Yeah, I had one rough game against Springfield. Had that grand slam. But other than that, I've just been trying to keep the ball down more. When I'm down more, I'm more effective with my sinker.
On Monday, you got yourself into a little bit of trouble letting that leadoff man on in a tie ball game. How do you get yourself to bear down? You're a sinker baller specialist, but knowing that you probably need to get a double play here to make things easy on yourself, how do you approach that mentally?
Yeah, I just try to focus on the next hitter, the next pitch I'm going to throw, and just focus on trying to get that guy, because he was actually bunting. So I kind of got lucky there, and he missed 2 to strike, so I ended up getting the ground ball after that with the 2-seam to a righty, so it worked out.
After that, you gave up the single, and you had to face, it seems like, your new nemesis in Billy Burns. He got you a couple of times in Midland. How do you approach him, seeing as he's been able to poke one just down that line those 2 games in Midland?
Yeah, he was trying to slap again like he was the last time, so instead of pitching away, I pitched him inside more, and I think that helped. He couldn't slap it down the line as much as he could in Midland.
You guys win the ball game on the Joey Gallo walk-off home run. Explain what that dugout is like as you see him connect on that ball and it's headed out to left center.
Yeah, I've played with Joey for 3 years now. We're in the same draft class, so every time he joins a new team, it seems like he gets a walk-off home run. So I wasn't too surprised, but we were all pretty pumped. It was cool to see the older guys watch Joey hit balls that far. What
has it been like to be able to watch his career develop? Like you said, you've been with him for the last 3 years. Is anything impress you anymore with what he does?
He's a tough out now. He doesn't chase pitches anymore. He hits for average and power, so he's a scary guy up there.
Here with RoughRiders pitcher Ryan Boers. For a sinker baller who doesn't throw particularly hard, you're a high 80s, low 90s guy, how important is it for you to make sure that ball stays down? Do you realize that margin of error really isn't that great for you?
Yeah, I just try to focus on getting early contact. That's the thing I did in college. I was trying to throw everything down the middle and let it run right or left, depending on whatever pitch I was throwing. And the less pitches I throw to a batter, the more effective I am, because the less pitches they get to see. So.
Tell me about the start of the season for you, because you were named to Myrtle's roster, and then because of all sorts of dominoes falling elsewhere throughout the organization, you have to go back out to Arizona, and it's a couple of weeks before you get to play for a team. What is that feeling like mentally? Is it disappointing, and are you a little bit angry?
Yeah, it was rough starting out. I made the Myrtle team, and, things fell the way they did, and everybody came down. Claudio went to Myrtle, and I had to go back. But, I like Claudio. He's a good dude. He's one of my buddies. But you just got to deal with it. It's part of the game. It's a business now, and just keep throwing strikes till they tell you not to. So.
How does that get explained to you when you're in a situation like that?
It pretty much just told me, just whatever happens above you, it trickles down, and you're the guy that happened to have it happen to. So.
And on the other side, you get to shoot pretty much right up to Double-A, a couple of appearances in Myrtle Beach, and you've been up here, for the bulk of the season. That must have been certainly a pleasant surprise in a great way.
Yeah, I definitely think they rewarded me a little bit, handling everything the way I did. I didn't complain, I didn't whine. I just worked hard, kept throwing strikes, and, working out with my buddy David Lyon and Myrtle and all that. We just kept grinding and waiting for opportunity to happen.
You mentioned your old college teammate in the Rangers system with you. How great is it to have somebody that you've worked with and that you've spent time with in the amateur level up here at the pro level?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We played every game together except for about a week till I left to come here in Double-A, so it's kind of weird not having him around, but he's still one of my buddies.
Tell me a little bit about that College World Series run that you had with Kent State. What was maybe the most memorable moment for you during that entire period?
Yeah, it was a crazy. I remember watching all the games on TV, still reliving it, but probably that 21-inning game we had against Kentucky leading into the regional, and we had no bullpen. I had to go the full game after, and then we came after and beat Kentucky the next game too, so we swept our regionals. That was pretty awesome.
Seeing as you went to the College World Series, is that something now that you're just going to follow every single year, whether or not Kent State is in it?
Yeah, I was following Kent. Obviously this year we lost. We made it to regionals, which was awesome, but we lost in the 9th to Kentucky, which kind of ironically, but what are you going to do? But yeah, it's fun to watch every year. Once you experience it, it's a little different.
You were drafted the year before that World Series run, 2011, by the Rangers. Then you were drafted again pretty much in the same round the next year. What was the difference electing to go to Kent State for that year versus signing?
Yeah, that first year I got drafted, it was kind of out of the blue. It was a last-second thing. I kind of lost my D1 scholarship to a school called Cleveland State for their baseball program closed, so I didn't have anywhere to go. So I went to I was at my junior college. I had nowhere to go. I was up in the air. Threw really hard one game, pitched well, threw a CG, and then ended up being an MLB Scouting Bureau guy in the stands. That kind of blew me up overnight. He told me I have a chance. It was like May, so it's right before the draft. I really had no idea I was going to get drafted. And I ended up signing with Kent later. They drove out to watch me pitch with a couple other schools. Signed with Kent, got drafted by Texas. Decided that I wasn't ready yet to come play pro ball. I want to get another year into my belt with Kent and the great pitching coach there, Mike Birkbeck, and all that. So I decided to go to Kent for one more year, and everything seemed to work out pretty well.
Did you think that you were going to be a pro pitcher? Was it something that didn't really dawn on you until that moment that you described, or were you always making that a goal?
Yeah, it was always a goal, but it was never really a realistic goal for me. I really had no idea until that day when we were in Michigan. We went across the street with the MLB Scouting Bureau guy to a McDonald's talking about what I wanted to sign for and what my offers would be and all this. So it was a pretty cool feeling with my parents.
I'm sure it was just a whirlwind, too, and probably a quick education for you and what that whole process is like.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Me and my dad had no idea. We really didn't know what was going on because we were more worried about my schooling because you have to, when you leave a D1, I went to Ohio University my freshman year, you have to go to a JUCO and you have to earn a degree. So I had to earn an Associate of Arts degree in a year, which usually takes people 2 years to get eligible for Kent. So we were more worried about that, and then this comes on top of it. So it was pretty chaotic but good month of my life. It was awesome.
That's a world of baseball that most people just don't even realize, and you've been able to live it, and hey, now you're up here at the AA level having a lot of success. Ryan, thanks so much for the time. Congratulations on the win the other night.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
That's Ryan Boers. We're back right after this on the Frisco RoughRiders Baseball Network.